Right. The first one, the situation. All right, our situation today is we're going to play a 2v2 throwing game. Dead simple. If you look at the little diagram here, you're going to be on a badminton court in a group of 6. All right. There's going to be 2 people on one side from the same team, 2 people on the other side from the same team. You're going to have a cone on the corner of each badminton, at the corner of the badminton court, and they're your goals. So you've got to throw the ball, and you've got to bounce it in the middle bit here. All right. So this middle bit, it's got to bounce in there, or you cannot score a point. All right. Dead easy. If it gets past these 2 guys, so if the greens are throwing it this way, and they get it past these 2 guys through the goal, they get a point. Simple. Yeah? For a minute, please. All right, quick as you can, fellas, quick as you can. Jordan, Brad, come on. Okay, all right. She just had a chance to experience the game. All right, that's our situation. That's what we're going to work on for the next 20 minutes or so. Seeing how we do. Alright, the next stage of our learning is what? No?
Like management, like, I don't know.
No, that's not the word I'm looking for.
Method.
Method, okay. And what do you mean by the method, Jordan?
Like,
explain it to me.
Like, the way you play, the method of play.
Okay, yeah, method of play. How else could you describe it? What things do you need to look at in this activity as a pair with your partner or your group? What do you need to do?
Communication.
Okay, yeah, you do need. That's a skill you need to use, but I don't think that's really what you need to get out of it. Lookman.
Think about how you score.
Yeah, how you can score.
If you were to sum that up though, what kind of words could we use to sort of sum how last game sort of, I'm not going to give you the words, but pardon? Could be some kind of tactics, Lookman said, sir.
Okay, good. In what do you mean by that, Lookman?
What kind of method you use to play?
Brilliant, yeah, fantastic. What about on the opposing team?
Defend.
Tell me how you defended yours.
Sometimes I'll go for it.
Okay. Alright, yeah, no problem.
When me and Scott were a team, when they had the ball, it was like Scott took like one half, and I took the other half and tried to defend that one half.
Okay, that's a good one as well. So you've gone laterally and you've gone front and back, like that.
We did, when me and Jordan was defending, we did one at the front and one at the back. The person at the front was crouched in case they were at law, and the person at the back was stood up in case. Yeah,
Bounced it hard.
Diagonal places.
Oh, alright, okay. Alright, good. I like the sound of all them. However, there's loads more that can be done. Absolutely loads more, and I'm sure you can come up with some innovative ideas that make it very difficult for your opponents. First of all, to stop the ball when you're throwing it. Secondly, just say well done for arguing your case. Alright, I've come round and sort of said, well, what about this and what about that, and what about the other? And you've all had good arguments to come back with. Firstly, there's no right tactic and wrong tactic. If you can make it work, then great. But you've got to believe in it and you've got to explain it. And if someone asks you a question that you can't answer, you might need to rethink. If you say, well, if the ball goes there and you haven't got an answer, then you might need to rethink your tactics. Alright? So, like I said, there's no right, there's no wrong strategy at all. It's up to you. Now, next stage of the lesson. Will? What is it? You don't know. Anyone but Jordan, because you answered the last one. Other Jordan then. Pardon? Analyse? No. Nope. If I want to make an activity different, what can I do? No. No.
Adapt.
Adapt. Did you say that before?
Totally, yeah.
No, that means didn't it? I didn't want to have ignored you. Yeah, it's adaptation. All right, adaptation. Shut up, you. Adaptation. Okay. Jordan, what does adaptation mean? Okay. Yes, so changing the way you play to make yourself better. Like it. Yes.
If someone's doing something like change what they're doing, and you're still the same, then you have to find out a way to stop the way that they're actually doing their thing.
Fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. That's brilliant. That's a perfect answer. But also, what I think this is about as well is being able to observe other people and say, "Oh, that's pretty good. I'm going to try that." Or they're doing what we're doing and they're not succeeding at that, so I think that we might need to change ours. So it's about observing other people as well as. Alright, so what I'm going to ask you to do now, your coach, who again is going to differ, your coach is now going to turn into a spy. Alright, so they're allowed to go and look at other people's games. They're allowed to speak to one person, and only one person, preferably the umpire. Don't have to speak to the umpire. Okay? And what they can do, say, I'm the spy, Jamal is the umpire. I can go to him and say, right, Jamal, explain to me your tactics, please. Explain to me this group tactics. We're going to go through the last two stages. Well, the second to last stage, and the last stage is where I'm going to adapt and make things a bit different and test your skills and your tactics and your strategy in a different way. See if you have learned. All right. So, go on, Jordan. You're going to tell me. Rules, okay. Rules or reduction, we call it, but rules is quite easy thing to remember. All right. So rules. So, explain to me that, Jordan, please.
The rules of the game.
What do you mean by that?
The rules that make the game.
Not necessarily. I think in terms of learning and the activity we're taking part in, what rules do you think we might need to come up with? Yeah, they're the game rules, but I'm thinking in a different way. Go on.
There's sort of boundaries for what you can and can't do.
Okay.
Tells you.
Maybe rules is quite a strong word that's sort of quite stringent on what you do. Rules, what I mean by rules is that you can come up with some rules yourself for your own team to be able to be successful. So, me and Mr. Richard are playing, so I will say, right sir, our rule is that there's always somebody in each half of the court. That's my rule, we're always somebody. And if there isn't, then we're breaking our rule and that's wrong. So there's always somebody in each half. That's my rule. Yep.
One of our rules was that you're not allowed to, when you bench it, someone else to go over a certain height as well.
Okay, again, that's a game rule, isn't it? That's a game rule. As a rule for you to be successful. So the defensive rule, an offensive rule, I might say, okay, this is the rule. If the guys are stood apart, I throw it down the middle. If they're stood together, I throw it down the side. That's my rule. They're the only two things. Right? So that's my position, action, timing rule for defending. Right? One of them. You may have, and I'm sure you have, got loads more. And we're sort of pushed for time, so if I could give you like a couple of minutes as a group to come up with some pack rules for your, maybe a couple for your offense, a couple for your defense, all right? And then I'll tell you what the T is. Bradley. What is the T? What, you know at the end of at Christmas time, what they do in the football, they open the what market?
Transfer.
They open the transfer market, yeah, the transfer window. Right, so it's transfer, we're going to transfer them skills to something a little bit different, okay? So in total I want 4 pack rules from each group. 4 pack rules from each group, off you go.